Good morning, everyone. Welcome to CSL West Georgia. Our service is ready to begin our morning meditation with Nelsa.
Good morning, everyone. So good to see you all. And if you would, just take a few deep breaths, gently close your eyes. And this meditation is about self-love. Be gentle with yourself as we go through the affirmations. Just take in some deep cleansing breaths. Feel your body relax as you let go of all the tension. Take in those deep cleansing breaths and exhale slowly. And just notice if you're holding any tension in your shoulders or your back or your jaw. Just feel yourself let that go. All the way down through your body. Bringing your attention to your breath. Feeling warmth and self-love as you continue to take slow, deep breaths. Just enjoy the way that feels. Letting go. Going deeper. Rather than worry what others think, I choose to live my life for me. In every way, I'm already enough. I choose to cultivate positive thoughts about myself. I'm allowed to have the needs and express them. I choose to be kind to myself. Rather than follow the expectations of others, I choose the path that's right for me. I love who I used to be, who I am, and who I'm becoming. When I look back at past versions of myself, I feel warmth and gratitude. Taking time for self-care is not the same as being selfish. That's important. Sometimes I feel emotionally turbulent. That's okay. I allow myself to feel all feelings. My own approval is worth more than the approval of others. When I look back at my life, it's incredible how much I've grown. I walk through the world feeling loved by myself and by others. If I want to change, that's okay. But I don't have to change in order to love myself. I'm allowed to set boundaries and expect others to follow them. My voice deserves to be heard, and my feelings deserve to be shared. I am worthy worthy of forgiveness. I choose to forgive myself. I notice what feels like an obligation in my life and release myself. I choose to associate with people who make me feel better and allow those who don't just drift away. Although I've made mistakes, they don't define me. I have something of value to give to the world just by being me. Just sit in that silence just for a moment. Feel that oneness, that connection with the divine. Being in those feelings of self-love with you throughout the day. And remember, whenever you need it, it's already inside you. And if you would, just gently bring yourself back into this space. And so it is.
Thank you, Nelta. That was beautiful, as always. Now we're ready for our vision and mission statement this morning. So if you would please stand and let us read together our vision and mission statement along with our declaration of principles. Our mission statement. CSL West Georgia is a joyful global community where everyone belongs. Through our unique spiritual teachings, we provide a safe environment to experience compassionate living. And our declaration of principles. I believe there is one creative intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe my purpose is to allow this divine mind to express in, as, and through me. I know that this divine presence is a power for good, which responds to my conscious use to recreate a life filled with health, love, peace, and success in all things. I use it now, I rejoice in it, and so it is.
All right. Please remain standing, and we'll do our morning welcome song. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Okay. All right. Now everyone sing. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Whoa, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul welcome here. Okay. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. All right. Sing it with us now. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. Your soul. Oh, yeah. Your soul is welcome here. 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 Tell your neighbor. Your soul is welcome here. 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 Good morning. Did I wake everybody up? I hope so. Wake you up?
Oh, man. I'm ready to roll. Woohoo. And this morning, we're going to have a reading by Chris's person, Dorothea Gates. We love Dorothea. She's going to give us our reading. And let me tell you, is she hot today, y'all? Woohoo! Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
I am reading out of What Religious Science Teaches Us, a New Thought Primer by Ernest Holmes.
Uh-huh.
The end of fear. The future of religion will be free from fear, superstition, and doubt, and will ask no one where God may be found. For the secret place of the Most High will be revealed in the inner sanctuary of our own heart, and eternal God will sit enthroned in our own mind. We can know no God external to the power of perception, by which we are alone are unconscious of anything. God must be interpreted to the humanity through its own nature. Who would know God must be as God, for he who inhabits eternity also finds a dwelling place in his own creation. Standing before the altar of life in the temple of faith, people learn that they are an integral part of the universe and that it would be not complete without them. The native faith within, which we call intuition, is a direct impartation of the divine wisdom within us. Who can doubt its gentle urges or misunderstand its meaning? The inner life may be developed through meditation and prayer. Meditation is quiet, contemplative thought with definite purpose always in mind. Prayer is a receptive mental spiritual attitude through which one expects to receive inspiration. There is a presence pervading all. There is an intelligence running through all. There is a power sustaining all, binding all into the perfect whole. The realization of this presence, intelligence, power, and unity constitutes the nature of the mystic Christ, the indwelling spirit, the image of God, the sonship of the Father. Christ means the universal idea of sonship, the entire creation, both visible and invisible. There is one Father of all. The one Father conceiving within himself gave birth to all the divine ideas, The sum total of all ideas constitutes the mystic Christ. Now, Jesus was a man, a human being, who understood his own nature. He knew that as the human embodies the divine, it manifests the Christ nature. Jesus never thought of himself as a different from anyone else. His whole teaching was that what he did, others can do as well. His divine nature was aroused. He had plunged beneath the material surface of creation and found its spiritual cause. This cause he called God or the Father. To this indwelling God, he constantly turned for help, daily guidance, and counsel. To Jesus, God was an indwelling reality, infinite person in every personality. It was the power of this spirit that Jesus lived. He clearly understood the unity of God in all humanity. Everyone is a potential Christ, from the least to the greatest. The same life runs through all, threading itself into the patterns of the individuality. Everyone is all over and all and through to the divine idea. It took the spirit, the Christ spirit, and the voice of all humanity, consciousness of his divinity, yet humble as contemplated in the infinite life around him. Jesus spoke from the height of spiritual perception, proclaiming the deathless reality of the individual life, the continuity of the individual soul, and the unity of the universal spirit with all people. And this can be purchased in our back room. Thank you.
Thank you, Dorothea. Well, welcome everybody. We've got a song for you this morning by Ricky Byers, and I hope you will all enjoy it with us. You're invited to sing along, dance along. I see Shauna back there dancing, and she's always got the energy going. Okay, it's called Use Me. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'm abide as you show me all that I can do. I used to think that God was the sun, but God is the sun. God so much more than the earth and the stars are all of creation. God is creator, all in all, and He wants to shine His light as we so use me, oh God, I stand for you. Here I am as you show me all that I must do. Say it, Marcia. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. To shine us, to shine His light as you. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me do. Let's sing that chorus. Yes, sing it with us. Use me, oh God, I stand for you. And here all about that you show me all that I must do. Sing it again. Sounding good. Use me, oh God, I stand for you. And here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Use me, use me, oh God, I stand for you. Here I'll abide as you show me all that I must show me all that I as you show me all that I as you show me all that I must do. Oh yeah, that was fun. We got a standing ovation back there. All right. You right. That was good, wasn't it?
Aren't they great, y'all? I mean, yay, yay. Give all our girls another standing O. This morning, we have a special little treat for you all. We have a video of a speaker that I have known for 20 years. She was my minister for 20 years when I lived in Dallas, Texas. And we kind of started together. And I moved back from LA. I got on a phone looking for a Science of Mind church and found this number and called, and Peter answered the phone. That's how small the church was at the time. It's now the largest church in Texas. So it has grown immensely, and this minister has grown this church. So it's a special treat. Her name is Reverend Dr. Peter Weldis, and we have a video of one of her talks. Enjoy.
Strength, courage, and oh my God, we need to have it, don't we? Especially when we are inviting things to change. So our topic for this month is change your thinking, change your life. This is a lovely little catchphrase that we use here in the Science Mind and in New Thought. Change your thinking, change your life. And so we can read this a sentence in a lot of different ways. Change your thinking, change your life can be an admonishment. If you would change your thinking, your life would change, right? It can be a statement of fact, change your thinking, change your life, or it's a promise. If you will change your thinking, your life will change. So it is in this way in which we take up change your thinking, change your life as a promise. But there is that pesky little word change, all right? So first of all, we're going to start out with what are we changing? What is it that we're changing? Change your thinking, change your life. And one of the problems with metaphysics is that so much of New Thought was written in the late 1800s and the early 1900s when they were not yet using the word consciousness. They had kind of an old idea of the word mind. The subconscious mind was just becoming available, recognizably so through psychology. And so there was a particular set of words that were used that we, in our today's language, in our today world, tend to, I would say, misinterpret. So when we hear change your thinking, change your life, right, we often think of, well, I'm just going to change my left brain rational thinking, and clearly not enough, is it? Or we say, well, I'm really a heart-centered person, so I don't do that's just too head, too cerebral. Yeah, that's not me. Right? We have all kinds of ways in which we distance ourselves from this thought, change your thinking, change your life. So the question really is, what are we changing? And the reality of it is we are changing so much more than just our thinking. But it does start there. It starts there by noticing, what do they say in recovery? Our stinking thinking. We have to change the way we think about things. And that begins with the story that we tell ourselves about what's going on. What we don't often realize is that we are literally narrating to ourselves about the experience that we are currently having, as opposed to actually having the experience. We're talking to ourselves about, oh, well, that was a silly thing to say, or wow, that person didn't seem to like me very much, or oh my God, look at what's happening out there, right? We're literally narrating the experience. Oh wow, that's a beautiful sunset. I haven't seen a sunset like that since the last time I was here 5 years ago, right? And now we're no longer with the sunset, are we? Because we're having a big conversation with ourselves. And so it is, we are paying attention to our thinking about what we're thinking about, noticing what we're thinking about. And then we're going to get to the fact that actually may have to change. The second thing, surprise, surprise, is that we have to also change our feelings or our emotional reactions to things. And many of us will say, well, that's just the way I feel. Actually, not necessarily. Our feelings can lie to us as much as our thinking can, right? Because our feelings are the product of how we think about what's going on. And it's a product of the way in which we have a reaction or response to what's going on. And what's going on could actually be completely different than what we think is going on. Or our feelings can be based on a very faulty idea of who we are, what the other person is doing, what's happening out there, right? So we actually get to work with changing our feelings. Yes, exactly. That's right. Thank you, Siri. And so another thing that we change is our attitude. Right? We talk about this a lot, changing our attitude. Are we having an attitude of judgment? Are we having an attitude of skepticism? Are we having an attitude of magical thinking? Are we, right? And that we can, in fact, change our attitude. And this impacts our experience. We spend a lot of time talking about changing our beliefs. That pattern that is running in the background, the beliefs that we have about something, and finally changing our behavior. So change your thinking, change your life actually encompasses all of these things because we're all built a little differently. We all resonate with starting the process in one of these 5 places that we have here, one of these 5 ways in which we engage in the world. And we can begin and enter into the process of changing this so that this out here changes. We call that causal living. Right? We're changing the cause, which is our thinking, our thoughts, feelings, attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors all wrapped up together. So if I were writing The Science of Mind today, I would say change your consciousness, change your life. Ultimately, that's what that phrase means. Change your consciousness, change your life. So with recovery and therapy and all the work that we do with our spiritual practices, we change our thinking, how we're thinking about something. We work with our feelings, and the feelings that say, I'm unworthy, I'm not enough, I'm not loved, I don't belong, right? We work with all of those feelings. We change our attitudes around ourselves, around others, around the other, all the ways in which we change our attitude from negative to positive, our beliefs and our behaviors. So changing our behaviors is when we talk about act as if, right? We can change our behavior, do it differently, and all those other things will start to change. We can change our feelings, and that will actually change our thinking and our beliefs. We can enter into this in any way that we choose. They all work together to change our consciousness. So when we change our thinking, when we say that, we're talking about changing our consciousness. The most challenging thought, feeling, attitude, belief, and behavior that we have is our sense of separation. This is the deepest aspect of our consciousness that stands in the way of us experiencing a different life. So I'm going to tell you a story that I heard, so many years ago, and it really had a profound impact on me. And it's a silly little story. It's a story about a father who comes home one night to his little daughter and sits by the bed and says, honey, I got you a present, and reaches out into his pocket and pulls out a beautiful string of plastic pearls, because he knew his daughter loved to play dress up and loved to play queen and princess and all of those things. And he'd found this little plastic necklace as he was out shopping, and he wanted his daughter to have it. And she loved that plastic necklace. She put it on and she wore it at every tea party, and she would wear it out to Sunday. She would wear it to school. She just wore the heck out of that plastic set of pearls. And she loved it so much, right? She kept wearing it year after year until she got a little bit older. And one day her dad came home and sat beside the bed and said to her, will you give me your plastic pearls? And she said, oh no, Daddy, that would make me sad, because then I wouldn't have them. And he said, it's okay, honey. You don't have to give them to me tonight. And the next day he came in and he said, would you give me your plastic pearls? And she said, but if I don't have them, I won't be able to have them at my tea party, and who will know whether I'm a princess or not? I need my pearls so that you'll know when you're at my tea party that I'm the princess. But it's okay, honey. You don't have to give them to me tonight. And he came in the next night and he said, honey, would you give me your plastic pearls? She looked at him, and with tears in her eyes, she said, well, I guess, Daddy, if you need them so much, I'll give them to you. And she took those pearls off her neck and put them in her daddy's hand. And he put them in his pocket. And out of the other pocket, he said, here, honey, here are the real pearls I got for you today, because this is who you really are. And I want you to have real pearls, because you are my princess, and I will never not love you. The biggest thing that we have to change is our grip on our plastic pearls. Those things that we think say who we are. Our plastic pearls are our belief in our human limitations, in our feeling of separation, in our behaviors of guarding, protecting, feeling threatened, needing to attack or defend, all of the human ways in which we think we have to engage with life. Our plastic pearls are a belief that we are in fact separate, and that somehow we have to fill the gap. We have to become so something different than we are that we will become one with Spirit, that God will love us, that we will be favored, that the good will somehow happen to us or find us. And those plastic pearls are made of our thoughts, feelings, attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors that come from our experience, our biology, and our belief that we're merely human. So part of the Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life is our need, really, our desire, and our willingness to exchange our plastic pearls for real ones. And what are those real pearls? But the reality, the reality that we are spiritual beings. That we are, in fact, spirit made manifest. That the truth of who we are, the essential reality of who we are, is life showing up as us. Spirit individualizing itself, getting to experience life uniquely as you and you and you and you and you and all of creation. And that we are, in fact, universal, expressing as this individualized expression. Our real pearls is standing in that identity, wearing that, having that be the place from which we think, from which we feel, from which we believe, from which we behave, from which we walk around in the world with the attitude that we are wearing. Change your thinking, change your life means exchanging your plastic pearls for real ones. That's what it means. It's changing our come from place. It's deliberately working over and over and over again, day in and day out, with our spiritual practices that work on all of those levels: thoughts, feelings, attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors. Every spiritual practice is aimed at one or more of those, and we need the whole combination of practices to move into that place where our come from is the truth of our being, the real, authentic, essential self. That's what we're changing. And when we change that, everything changes. We recognize that our security isn't out there, it's in here. We recognize that our worth isn't out there, it's in here. We recognize that the cause of our lives isn't out there. We're not victimized by those things. The cause lives within us. Everything shifts. Instead of living from the outside in, we start living from the inside out. Change your thinking, change your life. That's what that phrase means. And I invite you to change it for yourself. Change your consciousness, change your life, right? That's the sum total of all of that. Change your thinking, change your life. So now we come to that lovely little word change, which is oh so very much fun. And when change happens, whether it's happening to us or through us, or whether we have decided to change our consciousness and change our life, we tend to have resistance, don't we? Okay, I'll speak for myself. I can certainly resist. Or we can reimagine. That's always our choice. We can resist or reimagine. So I love it that Karen is willing to go with me on these things. I love to change the furniture in our house. And I do it on a regular basis. And you know why? I do it because many years ago, I read Ernest Holmes' Creative Mind and Success book. And he said, oh, you're stuck? He said, well, just put the stove in the parlor and the piano out in the backyard. And I was like, what? Change things around. And what do? We resist it. We like it. We have it all nice. We put it there. It fits there. We like it. It belongs there. I got the job. I have the this. I have the that. Or simply, I'm comfortable with this discomfort because it's all I know. I'm comfortable with it not working out because it's never worked out. And so we resist. But if we can reimagine, so I'm constantly reimagining. I mean, I probably rearrange our house and our living room, and I don't know, at least once every 18 months, maybe every 2 years. We look around, why don't we? So we just did this, I don't know, yesterday or the day before. Let's take that couch and put it in the back room. Let's move those chairs out here. Let's see how that would be. It was like, wow, it's like a whole new house. All because we were reimagining the use of this furniture in a way that would work for us. So let's talk about resistance. What is it that we resist about changing our consciousness? What is it that we resist? Well, you know, I'll just speak for myself, and you can tuck yourself in on any one of these, right? We resist knowing what we know. Because we don't want to know it, do we? We don't want to know that we really shouldn't be in this job, or we have to relieve this relationship, or we do actually have to allow this relationship to develop, even if it scares the bejeebus out of us, right? We know that we have to be more courageous in our conversations. We know that we have to, whatever it is, we resist knowing what we know, which is we're unwilling to change our thinking about things. We resist knowing what we know, and we resist feeling what we feel. Because our feelings will show us what we think and believe. And they will show us what's true and what's not true in our consciousness. If we will feel our feelings, there is very real reason for grief. There is very real reason for anger. There is very real reason for withdrawing and having quiet, and maybe even going into that cool darkness of our depression. There are very real reasons for those things. And if we don't feel what we feel, they can get stuck in our bodies. But if we don't feel what we feel, our sense of unworthiness, we can't ever say, but that's not the spiritual truth. If we pretend that it's not there and push it aside and pretend that we don't want to feel it, do you see, it can't come up to heal. So we resist feeling what we feel, we resist knowing what we know, and we resist the discipline of thought, reaction, and energy that is required. Because nobody can do it for us. I hated learning this part. Really. I hated learning this part. That I was the one who had to decide about my attitude. I was the one who had to decide whether or not I was going to allow my reaction to run away with me. I was the one who had to decide, I'm going to feel my feelings. I shared a couple weeks ago about this overwhelming, paralyzing feeling of fear, but it was only because I really allowed myself to feel it, and I really allowed myself to be with it, that the gold came, right? The gold of what it is that I needed to look at and see and experience, so that I could change my consciousness around it. But that's a discipline, not to run away from it, not to mask it, not to numb it, not to pretend that we don't know what we know or feel what we feel. And then we have to take responsibility for doing it. I hated that part the most. Really working with this I noticed that I was often unwilling to be conscious. Have you ever found yourself in that position? Why do they get to have a temper tantrum? Why can't I? Why do they get to be unconscious? Look at that unconscious behavior. I can't believe they're being so unconscious. Why do I always have to be the one who is patient and kind, or tries to walk in another person's moccasins, or tries to have empathy, all that stuff? Oh, it just used to infuriate me. Okay, maybe I'm just talking to myself up here. I don't know. But it's hard to not know that we're supposed to be conscious, but to take responsibility, to stop being a victim, to stop allowing our feelings to run us, to stop allowing our stinking thinking to run us. It takes an enormous amount of responsibility, which I was in serious resistance to being conscious. I was becoming conscious. I just didn't want to change the way I showed up in the world. But if we don't change our consciousness and change all those different aspects of us, just start somewhere, our lives aren't going to change. And that was my experience. It didn't. For many years, relationship after relationship, it did not change because I was in resistance to all of these things. Things around growing my consciousness, around success, and around what we as a community can accomplish, all of that stuff. Being in resistance to the work that it takes. And yet that work that it takes, right, is no different than deciding to get really good at something and practicing it. So how many of us were in resistance to piano practice when we were a kid? I was in resistance to ballet practice. I did ballet for, 9 years. I loved every minute of it, tap, toe, and interpretive dance, but I never practiced. Why should I? I had other things to do, which of course meant I never got any better, right? I never got any better. And so we have to really then we want to really pay attention to how easily we fall into resistance. And that my observation and my experience is that is a natural human response to change. Oh, wait. It has to do with our come from place. Because as a human, we have to protect ourselves. We have to worry about the threat. We have to make sure we can figure it out. We have to manage it, control it, work it, right? Because that's what the human side of us knows how to do and wants to do. But when we can shift into that deeper place, that spiritual truth, when we put on our real pearls and we recognize that that's the truth of our being, do you see, in my experience, resistance truthfully begins to melt away. Because resistance is native to our human experience. It's not to the spiritual truth of who we are. How do we know this? Because life is forever creating. Life is forever expressing something new. Life is forever growing. Doesn't matter if there's been a hurricane or a volcano, all sorts of new stuff happens, even in the midst of all of that. There's constant growth and flourishing of life. That is its nature. And only when we stand in the way, as we have done with our climate, does it get interfered with, just as we stand in the way of our own self as we are believing in that sense of separation. So the other side of resistance is reimagining. Now, you don't need to be given real pearls. You already have them. We all already have the spiritual truth. It is already the truth of our being. And I'll never forget years ago when a friend of mine said to me, you know, I just don't know. I don't know if I believe all of this. I really don't. But I'm going to pretend that I do, and I'm going to see what happens. And after pretending for a while, she was like, oh my God, what a difference that makes. And so how do you pretend but imagine? Right? Instead of resistance, it's reimagining ourselves. What if we actually imagine that we are in fact the light made manifest, that we are love pouring into the world? What if we imagine that the spiritual truth is in fact true, and we try to imagine, well, who would I be? How would I behave? What would that look like? What would I think in this moment if I reimagined, instead of being resistant to, what would I think? How would I speak? How would I show up? Do you see? Rather than engaging in our human resistance, to stand over in that new place and pretend. Start reimagining. Reimagine that we are, in fact, universal, individualized spirit showing up. We might not know what that means, so imagine. You know, you used to run around in your childhood days. You ran around and you pretended to be all kinds of things, didn't you? I had a little horse on a wooden stick. And man, when I ran around with that in the backyard or downstairs in the basement, I was riding, right? Well, we still have all of that capability to imagine that we are, in fact, individualized spirit. How would spirit do this, whatever this is? Kick up our heels and enjoy life, right? So what if we imagined that we were peace instead of feeling flustered or overwhelmed or whatever all of that is, right? For me, I don't think of peace as always speaking in a peaceful voice, because I don't. I think of peace, when I'm at peace, I'm centered. I'm grounded. I may be loud and passionate, but I'm still centered and grounded. Can you reimagine changing the way you're showing up in a particular moment, instead of all frazzled, as centered? What would that look like? How would that feel? Get out your little Warden horse, run around a little bit, pretending you're centered, imagining what that would be like. What would it be like to reimagine ourselves as powerful, capable? There is that within me which knows. I may not think I know, but there is that within me that knows, that can, and that does. Do you see? Not as abstract concepts. Oh, the peace of spirit descends upon me. The power of life is flowing through me. Great. What does that mean? Do you see? To get a hold of it and imagine it and play with it and be and see if we can manufacture within ourselves the experience of it. That's what it means when we pretend and reimagine. We become it on the inside. Oh, wait, isn't that the causal place? To become it on the inside. One of the things that I hate the most about myself when I am not conscious, when I fall into unconsciousness, and every time I do it, I see it, and that is when I behave in a petty and small way. Petty and small are not beautiful. To me, beauty is gracious, graceful, kind, open. There's space. What does beauty, what do these qualities mean, not as abstract concepts, but as real experiences? When we dance with our granddaughter at home with perfect joy, to pretend that I can have that and it doesn't require my granddaughter to be there. Do you see? If it requires my granddaughter, I'm living from the outside in. But when I'm that, and I'm playing in my mind with her as I'm doing something, that joy begins to bubble out and bubble over, and my life is different. What does it look like, feel like, seem like? What is the behavior of love? What if I imagined being that? Strong and powerful, centered, strong, kind, filled with enthusiasm, and then I shared that. This is your true self. All of this already, you already have the pearls. You already have this as the truth of your being. So what I invite you to do this week as you think about changing your consciousness, changing your life, I like for you to imagine taking off any plastic pearls that you're wearing. Okay, for you guys, you're probably not wearing plastic pearls, but you know what I mean, right? Think of some other metaphor that would be the same. Take them off. And reimagine real pearls. Reimagine having already changed your consciousness and move in your life from there. My experience is that when we do that, everything does in fact change. So that includes not only in our own lives, it includes how we work in the world. I'd love to invite you to change your consciousness if you are someone who does not believe that your vote counts. If you are a spiritual person who believes that voting is unnecessary, if you are someone who is skeptical that your vote makes a difference, let us change our consciousness around it. Let us not resist the power of our voice and our intention and our consciousness. Please remember that Tuesday is voting day. So it is. My turn. Okay. I have a song for you this morning. This is off my latest CD or album. Nobody wants a CD anymore, but anyway. It's sad to me to see people who haven't forgiven themselves for things they did. And I wrote this song in particular. Is this on already? Oh, then I can't say who I wrote it for. Right, for a close family member who I would herself. Come on, here we go. Is it up? Okay. Okay. I don't know what's going on, guys. Hold on. I got to start over. My engineer likes to use waves, not MP3s, and they are challenging sometimes. Here we go. Called Forgive Yourself. Tell God your secrets, I'll tell mine. Marry your mistakes, it's healing time.
There's magic in the telling, and we all know forgiveness is a river, just let it flow over you, through you. How long will you punish yourself? 30 days, 30 months, or 30 years? You built mountains of regrets, cried oceans of tears. How long till you forgive yourself? How long till you let the past go? How long till you forgive yourself? How long? All right, everybody, I help me out here. There's no mistakes here, just lessons to learn. Pray for tomorrow and let the past burn. There's magic in the telling, and I'm telling you, the river of forgiveness can flow through you. Let it flow over you. And how long will you punish yourself? 30 days, 30 months, or 30 years? You've built mountains of regrets, cried oceans of tears. How long till you forgive yourself? How long till you let go and let God? How long till you forgive yourself? How long? Yeah. How long? To err is human, to forgive is divine. You built your prison and you've done your time. So how long will you punish yourself? It's time to forgive yourself. It's time to forgive yourself. Oh, it's time to let go and let God. It's time, it's time, it's time. It's time to let go and let God. It's time. So do it today. You want your microphone a bit? Got it tangled around the candle. All right. Here you go.
Thank you, Cynthia. That was great. And thank you, Dr. Petra. Are we all going to let go of our pearls this week? Huh? Yes, yeah. 20 years of that. I learned a lot. Lots and lots and lots of classes. You learn to let go of those plastic pearls. I don't know yet, but give it a try, y'all. Now it's time for conscious giving, everybody. Is a spiritual activity. Spiritual giving is an opportunity to express our gratitude and open our consciousness to receive greater abundance. Practice participating in the circulation of universal. We have 3 ways to give here at CSL West Georgia. You can put your cash or a check in the envelope found in your bulletin. You can donate online by accessing your personal Breeze account using the Breeze mobile app on your phone. You can also donate electronically with your phone by using the information found on the back of your bulletin. This information is also being placed in the chat window for our online viewers. If you donate online, either using your phone or your Breeze account, please put an online giving card in the collection plate to acknowledge your contribution. If you did not pick one up at the door, you can get one from the usher. Now, as one consciousness for prosperity, let us say together, freely I give with a feeling of abundance, knowing that my gift blesses others and myself as well.
Freely I give, freely I give, giving from my heart and from my soul. Freely I give, freely I give, and the gifts come back to me tenfold. Lovingly I give, lovingly I give, giving from my heart, from my soul. Lovingly I give, lovingly I give, and the gifts come back to me tenfold.
And together we say, I am grateful for the divine givingness circulating abundantly through my life, our community, and our world. Okay, I can adjust these glasses so I can read. It's one of those. I guess it's good for the neck, right?
Yes.
Maybe that's the secret. Okay. Next Sunday, our speaker is going to be Reverend Bronte. She has had a little difference this month because she was called to do quite a long week out of state talking with other churches. But she will be back next week with us. And Thursday evenings, by the way, we have our midweek refresher. If everybody remembers, so we meet here at 7:30 on Thursday evenings. And the group's starting a new book by Neville Goddard, and it's called The Law and the Promise. So please join us on Thursday nights here, and we start reading the new book, and we have a lot of conversation about it, so you get to learn the book as you go and have any questions that you might have about what you've read. So please join us on Thursday evenings. If anyone is in need of an affirmative prayer support, we have prayer cards over here on the table for everyone. So if you would fill one out and put it in the white box, it will be gathered at the end of service, and your prayer request will be filled this week. And the girls do a wonderful, wonderful job. They pray very hard for us all. And I know I need those. Visitors, is there anyone new today? We want to, by the way, let's welcome Elaine back. She's feeling better. Yay. We're delighted to see her. David was here last week, and so we're looking forward to having you back every Sunday from now on, y'all. Next, I don't know if there's anything else I'm trying to think of. Possibly, I think it's pretty much a done deal. John Singer is going to be with us next 30th of this month. And we all love John Stringer.
Yay.
So he will be here. He'll give us his message and his music. You cannot miss it. John is just traveling all over, literally the world, taking his messages. So we are absolutely thrilled, and it's an honor to have John Stringer with us. So do not miss coming on the 30th. We'll have potluck that day as well. We always like to have a munchie. So both of those things are certainly worth being here, but John is the biggie. So please put that on your calendar. Do not miss the last Sunday this month with John Stringer.
I have an announcement too.
Okay.
Marcia, did you ever get that video I was trying to send you from Ricky Byers? Okay. Can you cue it up? No. Next Sunday we'll cue it up. Can you cue? You guys don't mind waiting an hour, do you? While we cue it up. Ricky Byers is having a wonderful conference with message and music in North Carolina, up in the mountains. It's April 11 through 13. It's very reasonably priced, and if you're interested in going, I'm going to try to go. John Stringer will be there. Several other really good musicians, and Ricky Byers, of course, will be performing. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it starts around $700 or $800, all inclusive. That's your room, your meals, everything.
And all the wonderful music and the messages. I mean, it's like, woohoo! Come back from that, you're a high for a week. By the way, y'all, remember last week Chris had mentioned we need leaders. We need leaders. We need leaders. We need someone for the fourth Sunday of every month. So please think about it. I mean, it's once a month and maybe every couple of months, whatever. But if someone would be interested in doing just what we all do when we come up here and run our mouths, so to speak, please let Ronnie know. Let me know, let Dorothea know, Marcia know, any of us, please let us know, because we'd love to have you up here. And it's fun to be up here and you get to stand up here and look at everybody. And that's fun because you get to see all your wonderful faces and know what's going on in the community. So please, it's fun. Hey, don't be afraid. It's no biggie. If you make a boo-boo, so what? I mean, I've made a few and I've been doing this a long time. So please think about it. Seriously, we'd love to have you. Name tags. We have a list that we put over here. So if you all need a name tag, please write it down because Marcia gets the name tags made for us. And I have lost mine. I don't know what happened to it. So mine's the first name on the list. So please, just however you want your name tag to read, go ahead and put your name on the list so that we'll have it. It's $5. Okay. $5. Okay. And what? Oh, they pay you. Yes. Ronnie does take the money. We all know that. She's a steward of our money, y'all. It's great. Social media, we're on everything that's current. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. YouTube is great because you can just queue us up and just watch all of them in order if you like. And Facebook, we're on right away. So you get home this afternoon if you want to watch again or watch Reverend Peter's message today or any of us, you can get up there and take a look and be able to absorb some more of the goodies. All right. All right. Closing affirmations, y'all. Let us stand and say our closing affirmation together. And when we are finished, we will be joining in our group, holding hands and doing the peace song as we leave for the day. We go forth today knowing that we are God's blessing in the world. Only good comes from us. Only good comes to us. And so it is. Woohoo!
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. Spirit, as I create, with each other and love. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. Spend my solo now to take each moment I live. And